Cast your mind back to 2012. The Olympics dominated the summer and Team GB won medal after medal at their home event. Elsewhere, England put in another miserable performance at a major tournament and Kevin Peterson was enjoying an almighty falling out with the ECB. With so much sport happening during that summer, the domestic football season got underway rather quietly. Tranmere, with Ronnie Moore back at the helm, had avoided the drop at the end of the previous campaign and were hoping for fewer worries this time around. Moore had always been able to find value in the transfer market and had previously put together Tranmere squads that were more than the sum of their parts. This transfer window saw James Wallace join on a 2-year deal after a brief loan spell, as well as the tricky forwards Jean-Louis Akpa-Akpro, wingers Abdoulaye Belbaghi and Joe Thompson, and loanees Liam Palmer and Jake Cassidy. Cassidy was another who had performed well on loan at the end of the previous season. It was the usual mix of free agents and short-term deals that lower league teams were used to signing every summer. It didn't scream promotion, but it certainly looked like it could compete in League One. Before a ball was kicked though, Moore had to deal with an injury crisis in defence. In classic Sunday League style, new signing Ben Gibson met his teammates in the changing room before his debut. All of these new faces gelled quickly as Tranmere got off to a strong start. With a little good fortune and an eye for a player, Moore had assembled a perfect 11, and that 11 took the league by storm in the opening months of the season. Goals flowed, wins were frequent, losses forgotten about, and the football was pleasing on the eye. After 12 games, Tranmere were top, unbeaten, and looking like the side to catch. But, and there was always going to be a but, that 11 wasn't bulletproof, or even injury-proof. When injuries started to hit, so did the defeat. Akpa-Akpro broke his foot at Notts County, Robinson missed chunks of the season with niggles, and Gibson had 4 months out in the middle of the campaign. But the loss of Wallace was the hardest to take. Just 11 minutes into an FA Cup tie with Chesterfield, as he challenged for the ball near the halfway line, Wallace felt his knee go. At the time, it was looking like a 6-week absence. Bad enough, but not the end of the world. Eventually though, that injury would take the best part of a year to recover from. As a result, Tranmere's captain would miss the rest of this season. As well as this, top scorer Jake Cassidy's loan expired and he wasn't allowed to return. Almost inevitably, results dropped off. Without a number of important players, Moore dipped into the transfer market to bolster his squad. What he wasn't able to do was recreate the magic of the early part of the season. New signings arrived frequently looking to plug the gaps in the team, but none were the solution to Moore's problems. The chasing pack got nearer and nearer. Eventually, Tranmere were dethroned. But they were still in a playoff place, well above pre-season expectations. Then, disaster struck. The final third of the season, which had so much potential, was a complete write-off. From their final 17 games, Tranmere won just 3 and drew 2. A mere 11 points came from a possible 51. Each week, Tranmere seemed to drop a place in the table until they sank to 11th by the end. They were top until February. A scarcely believable fall. They even failed to score in their last 6 games. A season that looked to be one of possibilities and excitement eventually concluded in disappointment. 11th would have been an acceptable position had the start not been so brilliant. Moore had somehow created the perfect 11 for League One, but League One had worn it down and exhausted it before Christmas. Now we're left wondering what might have been if only they'd been able to play the full season together.